Somebody said something to me and it will always resonate with me and stick with me whenever I'm struggling to understand why people are the way they are. And it was something to the effects of, people will talk about you and your life because their life is too boring to talk about. Food for thought and perspective. Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. So today's video I think was a great topic and I came up with it today. I was watching a TikTok or something and somebody was talking about people not liking them or whatever and how they don't care, and I'm like, maybe I should do a video on if everybody likes you then you're doing something wrong. And I wanted to do a video on that because as somebody who has always struggled with the idea of wanting everyone to like me, being that I'm almost 26, I'm going to be 26 in July, I am finally at a place in my life where I really don't care if people like me. Like, I actually mean that. Obviously, I need to be liked for my career. But I am talking more so on like the perspective and idea of like people outside of YouTube and honestly haters in general. I really could care less, and I think it takes a lot of learning, unlearning, courage, discipline, and just reading up on to get to this really content space where you just don't care. And I have found that whether you're a really nice person or a super mean, disgusting person, you're gonna still have people that don't like you. It doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum. And when you realize that, you can't really do wrong or right because people are just not gonna like you. You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. And I wanna help you kind of get through this if this is something you're struggling with, or maybe identify where it's coming from, where it's stemming from. It's essentially just gonna be a girl talk. We're gonna shoot the shit. I decided to put on a turtleneck. There's not gonna be many days where I'm gonna be able to wear a turtleneck dress, and it's very cold out today, and I'm kind of happy about it because I don't believe I've ever worn this in a video before. Also, it's so gloomy outside. Like, my window's right here, and I like to film like right here, and I had to turn on the overhead light today because it was like black in here, like pitch black. So yeah, we got a lot of new stuff going on, but I know you guys. You guys are just like me. You want to listen, do your makeup, clean your house, or do whatever while watching this video. So I already know you guys don't care about the aesthetic, but you know me. I just like to apologize for the aesthetic in every video because like I told you guys, this house is a ever-evolving project and there's gonna always be things going on in the background, so please forgive me. But I wanted to say that before the video gets started, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. There's a lot going on over there on Instagram, so make sure you guys go follow me over there. And yeah, guys, let's just get into the video. Okay, so the first thing I want to touch on is when you finally become autonomous and you gain some sort of independence, what this does to people's egos when it pertains to how they feel like they should be in your life. I don't know why it upsets people so much when other people have full autonomy of their lives and independence. And whenever I do these girl talks, remember a lot of my advice is coming from my own life. It's coming from my own situations that have happened with me and also people that I know personally. I have found that there is a huge amount of people who struggle with projection. And what I mean by this is they project a lot of their insecurities, pain, trauma onto other people. If you were raised a certain way, you think everybody was raised that way. If you were taught a certain thing, you think everybody was taught a certain thing. If you went through some sort of struggle bus, you feel like everybody should have to go through the same struggle bus. And getting to a level of just understanding, respect, and just wisdom is knowing that not everybody's life is like yours. And you have to just be okay with that. You can either make lemonade out of lemons and actually get your life together, or you can sit and be mad at the world for not giving you the life that you wish you had. Because it's not the world's problem. It's not the world's job. It's yours. And for me, I have found that there is a great amount of people who struggle with, they don't like people who have full control over their own lives. They don't like people who have the ability to make their own schedule, people that are able to be alone and not need a relationship to sustain their lifestyle, which, hey, whether you're in a relationship or single, be happy in whichever you choose. But when you start hurting people or coming from a place of projection where you're mad at people for living their lives for themselves, it's a little bit odd and it's peculiar, and I'm not with it. So I think that if you are someone who is very independent, you work on yourself constantly, you have full autonomy of your life, you're gonna attract some weirdos. You're gonna attract some people who are just not gonna get it, and that's okay. And you're not gonna be for everyone. Not everybody is going to understand your life. Like, sometimes people genuinely think it's not possible to have the things that you have, to be the person you are. That's the truth. Sometimes people do not possess the qualities that you possess, and they are upset and angry because they feel like it's a very fictional, fake way of living, when in reality, it's not fictional, it's not fake, they just don't possess it, and that's on them. Okay, another thing that you have to understand is people don't like happy people. Oof, 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 oof. And if you're one of those people, get it together, heal and go to therapy, you're not gonna be for everyone if you're happy. Isn't that a weird thing? Like, just genuinely being happy, even if you're content, people don't like that, because a lot of people like to bond over misery and trauma. And you know what? I do not mind bonding over misery and trauma if we've somehow made it to the other side. Okay? Or we're at least trying to get there. I think sulking in it, living in it, being in it, and then staying in it is the worst way you can ever actually grow, because you can't grow from that trauma. You need to actually try to actively do something to get into a better place. And when we're meeting people out of this type of environment where we're meeting them and we're realizing that they have a lot going on, you have a lot going on, you hate your baby daddy, she hates her husband, y'all want to go out and do X, Y, and Z together, and it's just you bonding over hating your life, that to me has breeded the perfect recipe of a friend. But the second it's a girl who hates something about herself and she meets happy-go-lucky princess over here, suddenly she's mad. Wait a second, why do you get to be happy and I'm not? And you know what? It's not your job to teach people how to be happy. And I understand that, especially if you're an empath or somebody who cares deeply for others, you want to help guide people into that part of their lives and touch on that, because it's really a beautiful thing once you realize that sometimes you are in control of your happiness. And I would like to say 95% of the time you do control it. And that might be a jarring statement to many people because they don't believe that that's true, but it is. I mean, it's all about perspective and how you're willing to shift and change that. And when you're happy, you're going to be very annoying to some people. They want to bond over misery, trauma, pain, hating people, gossiping, drama, everything. And you're just not willing to do that. So again, you're not for everyone, and that's okay. The next thing I wrote is that success isn't common, and neither am I. Successful people, or people who want to be successful, because I think that we all have that desire and that drive to become successful, and especially if you have a successful mindset, you're already winning. You don't have to have your 6-figure check in front of you for you to be successful. And I think that it's more so about whether you're on the way to success. And I will tell you right now, the second you touch that ounce of success, people are going to be very upset and angry. What's that lyric that Drake said? Like, trust me, at the top, it isn't lonely. He wasn't lying, okay? It's not lonely being at the top, but I will tell you it is an adjustment. And by the top, I don't mean the top of everything, because I don't believe that I'm at the top of everything. I'm at the top of my own life, where I plan to be, what I wanted for myself. I'm at the top. I made it to exactly what I wanted to make it to, and now I created a brand new goal-setting schedule for me to achieve new goals, because I already achieved the ones that I wanted for myself. And when you get to the top, you have to make adjustments. People don't like that you have something that they don't have. And it's really sad and it sucks, especially if you don't mind whether somebody is wealthy or not, whether you care if somebody's successful or not. But I have to say, from a very, very, very objective standpoint, from the outside looking in, what is really crucial and can create so many good bonds is like-minded individuals. Not all of my friends are at the same money success caliber as me, but what we all have in common is the success mindset. It's the happiness mindset. It's the we love people mindset. And when you are someone who feels that way, and then you encounter someone who wants to do everything by themselves, they don't believe other people should have the nice things that they have, they don't like when other people win, it makes them feel uncomfortable and weird, Hi, goodbye. Okay? Hi, goodbye. Get out. Because I'm not going to be putting up with your weirdness towards me about things that I'm proud of. It's just not happening. So I think that this is something that's just going to have to be an adjustment for you. You're going to have to understand that you're not for everyone when you're happy and successful. It's just the way it goes. And honestly, while we're just touching on this, overall, you're not for everyone, and that's okay. Whether you're successful, happy, unhappy, broke, ugly, pretty, you might just not be for someone, and that's okay. I think that we have to just welcome that type of encounter in our lives more. Why must everybody like us? We don't like everyone. Let's just call it what it is. Do you like everybody? Think about when you watch a TV show, you always have a favorite person on the show, someone who you resonate the most with. That's who you gravitate towards. And there might be someone on there who you view as the villain or someone that you wouldn't be friends with or someone you don't like. That's okay. That is not a crime. Not liking somebody is not a crime, okay? I think that what we need to do is acknowledge when we don't like someone and not become their friend. I think that that is weird. I think it's weird when you judge somebody, don't like somebody, and you follow them on Instagram, you watch everything they do, and you want to be their friend. That's a scary thing, and that needs some serious mental help. I don't think that we should gravitate towards what we don't like. And I don't know if it's coming from a place of just not understanding that person or you genuinely don't want them to do well. If that's the case, I don't understand that because I've never been there. Now, have I not liked people and people weren't my cup of tea? 100%. And what do I do with that information? Literally nothing. I don't become their friends. I don't watch their stuff. I don't care about what they do. And I distance myself from that person. I think that that is what's healthy. I think when you start to overthink why and how come and I don't understand, who cares? And I know it's an adjustment, especially if you're young watching my channel. It's hard when people don't like you. It's so uncomfortable. Like it reminds you of like that school bully or like girls kind of being cliquey in school. It makes you feel like, wait, but why not me? Like I'm cool. And I get it. But in the adult world, I think it's actually better to cultivate more tighter groups and knits of people rather than becoming friends with everyone. Because there's no way that you can be friends with every person. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because how? How are you able to be genuine friends with everyone? You have something in common with every single person to the point where it's able to be a very good, sustainable friendship? No. I think if you're a businesswoman or somebody who is just a really good networker, that's different, but that's more on a surface acquaintanceship level. When it becomes close-knit friends, it's weird. So what you need to do is stop caring that people don't like you, and it's okay if you don't like them either. That's normal and that's okay. And we just need to welcome that kind of feeling. The next thing I want to touch on, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, is when people don't have access to your personal life, your career, your relationship, your friendships, your connections, they will really take issue with that. And I'm going to kind of walk you through how to handle that. So, when I was younger, I had no boundaries. First of all, these are not things that are taught to you in school. I wish things like this were taught in school because life skills are so important, and especially social life skills. And this was something that I had to learn with age, learning that when I've been burned many of times, and also just dealing with weird people throughout life. When you get to a certain age, you realize that you need to have very strong boundaries. And I'm talking insane boundaries. So when you get to a certain point in your life where you've been burned, hurt, or even just, you don't even have to have experienced being burned or hurt, but just experiencing, a way to give yourself that relationship with yourself where you don't want to share every aspect of your life. When you don't overshare with people and you don't give people access to certain things, even if it's access to your personal relationship with your man or your career or your resources, they will be very upset, okay? People don't like when they can't take from you. I have experienced some weirdness since I started my YouTube career. I hardly ever talk about this on my channel because I don't like talking about it because it's stupid and I think it's normal and it comes with the territory. But for principle's sake, I'll share this. I do not consider myself to be extremely famous. I don't consider myself to be super cool or anything. But I have to say that when people do find out who I am and they work regular jobs or they do regular things, they find ways that they can either use me for content or to benefit from advice or things that to me are too personal, and or they want to become my friend to get closer and to know what's going on in my life. And at first I used to welcome it because I thought it was super flattering that people, wanted to know more about me and what I did, because nothing really that I do is super private anyways. Like, my channel is really about women empowerment, growing people, helping people out in life, and occasionally hygiene and perfumes and things like that. So I didn't mind. But then when I realized that they were pretending to be my friend, or they didn't really actually like me, or there was just weird things that happened where, it started off as a friendship, and then later you're telling me on the phone that, well, maybe I want to be a YouTuber too, and I've been studying and it just becomes weird because you're like kind of taken back because this person has never expressed to you that this is something that they want. And sometimes it could be coming from a really genuine place. And I usually can tell the difference. You can tell the difference when somebody is genuine and when somebody is using you, especially the more discerning you become in life. And I have learned in my own journey that I have to create strong boundaries between people and my personal career and life and things that I have going for me, because I used to be so sharing, and I realized that it was depleting me and it was becoming uncomfortable. And there were moments where I felt like I either shared too much or things had happened and this person really wasn't, looking out for my best interest, and they were trying to find ways to spin and do weird things. And after all of that, I have learned that giving people as little access to you as possible is sometimes the best way. And this goes for anybody. I'm not just talking about people in the content creation space. I'm talking about any and everybody. Protect your relationship with you and your man. Protect your relationship with your coworkers and your career and things like that. Protect your relationship with your money. You don't need to tell everybody how much money you make or what you do, or, down to the dollar amount, because it's people, they get jealous and weird, and you don't know people's intentions. And when you start to just protect yourself more and more and more, will it upset certain people? 100%, because they want access to your resources, life, and advice and things that you have, because that's the reason why they probably seeked you in the first place. But once they realize that you're giving them absolutely nothing, there's the door, babe. There's the door. And then the last thing I want to touch on is when somebody wants what you have, it can come out in weird ways. You could be the most normal person in the world, right? Because this doesn't have to, I'm not talking about girls with glitz and glamour, girls with this, that. No, I'm talking about you are a normal girl, right? And you have a 2-parent household and your family loves and adores you. You could have somebody who was not raised in an environment like that and is super jealous and envious of that, and now wants what you have, and is hurting you and doing weird things to you because they feel like they deserve what you have and you don't deserve it. It's really scary that you could be just living your life and somebody could try to find ways to destroy that for you. And what I have found to be the most helpful tool when dealing with certain people is to give them the silent treatment and ignore them. And I know that to some people, it's like, no, I have to speak up for myself. No, there are certain people that want to get a reaction out of you. They want you to say something. They really, really want you to say something. And guess what? Silence is the best answer. What is that saying? A wise man once said nothing at all. I make sure I use that saying quite often in my own life. I don't feel the need to argue with somebody who I can already smell wants something that I have and is mad and feels like I don't deserve it. And they will find ways to make up lies and stories and create fantasy fiction novels about your life that you're just like, what? I don't understand. It's just so weird to me that people are like that, and that's just the world we live in. I really wanted to make this video more as a reminder for you guys to not be so upset when people don't like you. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now, granted, if literally nobody likes you and you haven't made a single friend, your family doesn't let's look inward. But for the most part, if people don't like you, it's so normal. It's honestly a reflection that you're doing something right, because I think there's a huge difference between people not knowing you or not caring about you versus literally actively not liking you. If we are in this world actively not liking people and going out of our way to make it very known, it's giving jealousy, it's giving obsessed, it's giving get your own fucking life. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like me, there are people that I don't jive with, but I really don't even think about them. Like I couldn't name 5 people because I literally don't care. I don't care. Like once I'm done with you, I'm done with you. And you can ask anybody that I'm done with. They know, okay? I don't speak to you and I will never address you again. It's just how I am. And I think it just comes from a place of always just being respectful. Like I'm just respectful in the aspect of like you could have did me dirty or hurt me and things like that, but my best way of handling that is just kind of moving forward with my life and never really addressing it again. I don't have this incessant need to get my lick back. I don't have this need to destroy your life. And when people try to do things like that, it's coming from a place of hurt. They're projecting their own pain and insecurities onto you. And you need to get thicker skin and not care. Do not let this deter you from pursuing a passion and getting your dreams and achieving them. Don't let this get in the way of you being in a good relationship or having good friendships or don't let it deter you. Like the world is not always going to be a great place, and realizing more and more that there are not great people out there will at least prepare you for it, but I don't want it to let it get in the way of you making friends, having a beautiful, blessed life, and just prospering and growing as a human being. I wish that I had this advice years ago. I'm sure I've gotten it, but the truth of the matter is sometimes you kind of have to live it to understand it. And that's kind of what I'm doing now in my life. Like I'm finally at the point where I'm like, phew, if you want to lie about me and not like me, go ahead. It's fine. Like I really don't care because I know me and I like me and that's what's important. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys out. Sound off down below any other thoughts that you have. I want to hear from you, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching today's Girl Talk, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone. Mwah.